Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time on this channel, you're welcome. I would love to say a very big thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you very much. And if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. On today's video, we'll be sewing this lapel jacket. I drop a link below on how to cut and draft this jacket. If you're just seeing this video, please click on the link so you know how to draft and cut a perfect lapel jacket. So guys, let's get into it. We're starting with the sleeve, and you know this blazer's sleeve is stylish kind of. So now I'll be joining the one we cut out on 1/2 inches. So now I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll join this on 1/2 inches straight, and I'll do this for the other sleeve and on the lining too, and show you guys what it looks like. So guys, I'm done with the joining of the sleeve. You know we added 1/2 inches, so I've taken in the 1/2 inches back inside. You're sewing your suit, you do more of ironing. So I've ironed this. You can see how pretty it's looking. So this is the front. You can see how neat it is, and I've done the same thing also on the lining. You can see the lining of the suit, how it's looking. This is my center back because it's into two. We have to join this together. We cut this into two because of that shaping of the back of this jacket. So now I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll be joining this back on 1/2 inches all the way to the top. You know we added 1/2 inches at the center back of the jacket and at the side of the jacket. So this will be joining the center backs together. We have to join on 1/2 inches. Now I'll go and join this and show you guys what it looks like. I'm done with the joining of the center back. I join on 1/2 inches. You can see these 1/2 inches. After doing that, we open this now, and we'll be joining the side backs from the hem of this jacket. From the hem of this jacket, I'll go and join on 1/2 inches straight to the up this way. Now I'll do this and show you guys what it looks like. So guys, I'm done with the joining of the back of this blazer. As you can see how it is, and I've opened up the stitch. This is the back, and I've done the same thing also on the lining. So we keep this back piece aside. So now let's talk about the welt pocket. Like I said, these blazers will be having a double welt pocket at the front of the blazers. I have a tiny strip here. The length of this strip is by 7 inches and the width is by 1.5. This will be using it as for the welt pocket, this tiny strip. I have 4 of this tiny strip. I'll put this aside. Then the next we have to work on is the facing of the pocket. The facing here, I have 3.5 for the facing, and the length of the facing is by 7 inches. I have 4 of the facing also. 1, 2, 3, and this is the 4th one for the facing. Keep this aside. The next we have to talk about is the pocket itself. For the pocket, the length of my pocket, we have the short one and the long one. The short one, we have 6.75 for the length, and the width is by 6.75 also. And I have 2 pieces for this. Then the long one is by 7.75, and the width also is by 6.75. This is the pocket. You need to have a long and a short one also. So now I will go to the ironing table. I'll be ironing a stay, or I'll be making use of paper stay for the pockets, the facing and the tiny strip. I'll add paper stay to it to give it a bit of effect. So now I'll keep this aside. The next I have to do now is I'll be joining the center front to the side front on. I'll do the same thing also on the facing. Now let me do this and show you guys what it looks like. I'm done with the joining of the back, the center back and the sides back for the lining and the fabric, and I've given this a good press. You can see how pretty it's sitting. Now I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll be sewing the hem of the blazers on 1/2 inches. So guys, I'm done with the joining of the front. You can see how it looks. This is it, and I've pressed it open because you are making a blazer. It's always good to press your seams open after sewing so it will lay flat. The next thing we have to do now is to get the welt pocket. In order to get your welt pocket, you can either use your waistline, which is 17 inches. This is my waistline. The waistline of this blazer is 17 inches. You can either use this 17 inches or you come down by 1 inches, or you go up by 10, anyone, depending on where you want to put your double welt pockets. That's how you can make it slant. You can make it anyhow. Just let your creativity guide you as you are doing it. So this will be my where I'll be putting my welt pocket. I will come down by 1 inches from my waistline for the welt pocket, which is 18 inches. Then on the center front, this is my front. Because of the buttonhole, for the button I added 1 inches for the button. This is my 1 inches mark here. But while we're cutting it, I added 1/2 inches for seam allowance. So I'll mark the 1/2 inches. That's 1.5 inches. Then after getting this, your buttonholes allowance, the next you have to do is to add 1 inches for space. Your welt pocket should not get to your buttonhole. You just add 1 inches to it, so it will be at this place, not too close to the button. Then on your side of your blazers, on these blazers we added 1.5 inches for seam allowance, but when I'm going to join this, I'll be joining it with 1 inches. That 1/2 inches will be for ease. So now this is my seam allowance here, 1 inches. Now we'll determine where the welt pocket will be. You can see how it is. This is how it will be on the blazers. Now connect this line straight. This is how it will be. It's better your welt pocket should be closer to the side seam than it should be closer to the center front, as in the buttonhole. That's why we came in by 1 inches. Now I'll bring the tiny strip. The front of the tiny strip will be facing the front of the blazers like this. You can see how it is. Then I'll pin this down. So now I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll be sewing on 1/4 inch. So guys, I'm done with the sewing. You can see I sew on 0.25. This is the front of it, and look at it at the back. You can see how it is at the back. Now we'll slit this open. So when slitting, before you reach the end point, you leave like 1/4 inch. So use and launch it like this. So after opening the welt pocket, you turn it with this 0.25 inches we cut out. You make it facing the front and turn it to the back like this. You can see now the way it is. I'll use my pins to secure it down. So this is how it will be. I'll give this a good press and tell you what next to do. I'm done with the ironing. You can see how it looks. Now we'll go to the sewing machine and be sewing close to this stitch here. Now let me sew it and show you what it looks like. So guys, I'm done with the sewing. You can see how it is at the back. This is how it looks at the front. So now we'll turn this back to the back of this blazers. Now we'll be taking the small one. We know we cut two of the pockets, one small, one big. The front of the small one will be facing like this. So this is how I will go, and I will sew this on 1/2 inches from the back like this. So guys, I'm done with the sewing. Now we'll bring it down like this and turn it to the front. So now the next thing we have to do is to insert our facing. This is the facing of the double welt pocket. I will insert this inside like this. You can see how it's looking. Now I'll turn it to the back. So on the back here, we'll make sure is okay like this. You can see how it is. This is how it will be at the back. So we'll hold it together. Now I'll bring the long pockets, and I will placing the long pocket in between. The flap will be in between the long pocket and the tiny strip. So now I'll pin this together and go to the sewing machine. I'll be sewing on 1/2 inches. Make sure the three are together like this. That's how you sew it. So guys, I'm done with the sewing. You can see how it is. I sew the three. This is the long pocket, the facing, and the tiny strip together. You can see how it is. Now the next thing we have to do is to make sure we hold this tiny place here like that. We hold it in and sew all around the pocket. Now I'll go and sew this and show you guys what it looks like. So guys, I'm done with the pocket. You can see how it looks at the back, how neatly finished it is. So now I'll turn this to the front so you can see. So this is the front of our double welt pocket. You can see how beautiful it looks. You can put your hand, you can even put your phone inside. You're safe. So now guys, the next we have to do is to sew our collar. This is the up of the collar, so I'll be sewing 1/2 inches round. After sewing this, we'll join the lining too, the way we join the front of the blazers, and I'll tell you what next to do. So guys, I'm done with the sewing of the collar. You can see how it looks. I'll give this a launch and turn it to the front and give it a good press. Now we have to join the lining to the front of the blazers. We'll be joining on 1/2 inches. When you're joining, please always make sure the joining is together, like it will match like this. So now I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll join this on 1/2 inches. I'm done with the joining of the lining to the front piece of these blazers. You can see how it is. After joining the lining, I make sure I give a good press and open up the seams so it will lay down flat, because we are making a suit, guys. Let's call this suit with the package, and I'm going with the collar and blazers. Let's call it suits. So this is it. Now go to this side, my center front, where the lapel will be falling to. I will sew on 1/2 inches straight to this neckline here, and come and tell you guys what next to do. So guys, I'm done with the sewing. Now I'll turn this to the front and give it a good press. So guys, I'm done with the pressing of the front blazers. Now we have to join this to the back. Now we'll be joining this on the shoulder. Fabric, we'll be joining fabric to fabric and lining to lining. So to do that, this is our lining. You bring out the lining like this and make sure the fabric to fabric is together. I'll go to the sewing machine and I will join this on 1/2 inches and the other shoulder also. So guys, I'm done with the joining of the fabric to fabric. I will open this with my iron, press it open like this. But before then, now we'll go and join lining to lining. To join lining to lining, you just, this is the neck of the back lining, this is the neck of the front lining. You just do it like this. You can see the way I hold it, and I'll be turning this on half inches also. I will go and sew this and press it open. So guys, I'm done with the joining of the shoulders. You can see how it is, and I've pressed this open. After sewing, you press your seam lines open the way I press mine like this. I did the same thing also on the lining, fabric to fabric, lining to lining. Now the next we have to do is to join the sides on 1 inches. So in order to do that, we'll be joining lining to lining, fabric to fabric. This is the M line. You can see it's equal here. You check if it's equal at the shoulder also before you now do fabric to fabric, lining to lining. To do your fabric to fabric, make sure the joining is like this. Now go to the sewing machine. I'll be sewing on 1 inch straight down to the lining. And now this is how I'll go and join lining to lining, fabric to fabric. So guys, I'm done with the joining of the sides. You can see how neat it is. Now I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll be joining my sleeve on 1 inch. You know it's 1 inch we added for the allowance for the sleeve. Now I'll go to the sewing machine and join this on 1 inch. I'll do the same thing also on the lining. I'm done with the joining of the sleeve. Now you can see this is the front of my sleeve and this is the back of the lining. You'll be putting the sleeve inside the lining like this. So you make sure the joinings are together, the joining on the sides and this joining on this sides are together. Then the next thing we have to do now is to open this sleeve like this inside. You see the way I open it. Now we'll make sure we fold this like a angle so it will not be bulky at that end. You can see the way I fold it like this. I'll do the same thing also on the lining. And now I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll be sewing round the sleeve. So guys, I'm done with the sewing. You can see the way I sew it. I make this place like this. You can see the joining. Now we open up the sleeve like this and see how it looks. And now we just, so guys, I'm through with the sleeve. You can see how it is. So now we keep this aside and fix our collar. The next thing we have to do now is to fix in the collar. In order to do that, to fix in our collar, we give this side that is like L a bit of lunge like this, ½ inches. Should not be more than ½ inches. You can see the way I give it ½ inches. I'll do the same thing also on this side. So guys, let's fix our collar. I've launched the middle of my collar. You fold your collar into two like this and give it a launch. You can see the way I launch it. So now we'll be fixing this collar this way. The center of the back with the launch I made at the collar. Now pin this down. So guys, I'm done with the pinning of the collar to the fabric. It's the fabric I pin it to. Now we'll check what we have from this end here. I have 1 inch. I'll check what I have here. It's also 1 inch. Now I'll come in from the armhole. We'll be sewing this from the armhole like this. I'll come in. Now I'll come in from the armhole and turn it like this. Now I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll be sewing the fabric and the lining. The collar will be in between. Now I'll go and sew it and show you what it looks like. So guys, I'm done with the fixing of the collar, you can see how it is. So this is it. Now we're fixing our sleeve. So to fix the sleeve, we're doing fabric to fabric, lining to lining. You can see the way I do it. The side of the sleeve that has joining with the side of the blazers that have joining, we pin them together like this. And don't forget to fold this edge like this, so it will not be bulky there. You fold the sides like this, and I'll do the same thing on the fabric. Now I'll be coming inside from the inside. You can see I took my hand from the inside, and I'll bring this out like this. You can see how it is. Now open and do the same thing also. Now I'll be going to the sewing machine. I'll be sewing the sleeve to the jacket, fabric to fabric. After that, I will show you how to sew the lining to lining. So guys, I'm done with the fixing of the sleeve to the fabric. Now we have to fix lining to lining. In order to do that, you bring the lining. This is the lining as in the blazer itself. Then I'll bring in the sleeve like this. Make sure it's opened, and you make that triangle like this so it will not be bulky. You know why we are doing all this is to achieve a neat finishing inside. So now we'll make this like this. Then I'll come inside from this other armhole and pick it. The inside of the lining of the sleeve and lining of the jacket will be together like this. And now I'll pin this down. See, this is how it will be. Now I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll go and sew this all round. So guys, I'm done with the joining of the lining. You can see how neatly finished it is. Then now I'll be joining the sleeve fabric to fabric. Then I'll show you what next to do. So guys, we're almost done. This is it. I've fixed the other sleeve. You can see how it's sitting. So now we want to achieve a neat finishing. Now this is the fixing of the fabric to fabric. Now we have to fix lining to lining. So now to fix the lining to lining, you come in like this. The lining, the joining at the sides of the sleeve and the joining at the sides of the blazers will be together. You can see the way I do it. This is the inside. You make the inside of the sleeve also, fixing it like this. You can see how it is. So now we'll form inside and pin this down. I'm done with the pinning down of the sleeve. Now I will turn it to the back so we get access to go in from there. So now we want to achieve a neat finishing. You can either go through the sleeve or you go through the side, so you can achieve that neat finishing, everything locked inside. But I'm going through the sleeve. I will just lose this a bit. You can see I've opened it. I'll just make sure my hand can go through like this, and now I'll pick it out. You can see I've picked it out like this. I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll be sewing all around the lining to lining. So guys, I'm done with the joining of the lining to lining. You can see how neatly finished it is. Now we have to lock back this place we came in. I'll be doing that with my needle and thread like this. We have to lock back this place so it will be neatly finished. So I'll just do this like this. So guys, I'm done with the hem closing of this space we came into. Now let me display this for you to see. Yeah, we're done with this lapel jacket. You can see how neatly finished it is and how beautiful this jacket is looking. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and please hit the like button also. And I would love to say a very big thank you for watching to the end. See you guys on my next video. God bless you.